Let's make another randomly generated piece of jewelry. Today's numbers are drawer 2, impression die 57. And here is the die we've chosen. This one has 3 designs on it, but I think the one I'm going to use is this sort of modified quatrefoil design. This linear pattern that you see engraved into it, on the original hub, which is the positive design, carved design that was then pressed into this piece of steel to make the die. The process, they used a machine called a straight line engraving machine. It is similar to a rose engine, which I think the best thing that I can compare it to is when you see antique enameled pocket watches or compacts, and they have like a transparent enamel over this really beautiful engraved design. That is the same technique that was used on the original hub that made this die. So let's see what I come up with. First up, I press the design in fine silver sheet. You can see here one edge is slightly wider. The border is slightly wider on the top than it is on the bottom. That's just how the die was pressed. So when I cut this piece out, I'm going to accommodate for that and cut a little outside the line so that in the next step, I can use different sanding discs to kind of carve or blend the edge into that excess rim. Then I'm going to apply some powdered enamel. This is powdered glass. It is transparent, and I'm heating it from below until that glass melts and flows. Then I flip the piece over, apply some enamel to the front of the design, and again, heat it from below until that glass melts and is nice and solid. Next, I remove the enamel from the edges and then shine everything up. Then I move on to work on the back plate. I trace around the enameled piece, cut it out, and then I mark 4 spots where I'm going to add prongs to hold the enameled piece onto the back plate. I drill holes at each of those marks, and then I cut out a circle from the center and clean that hole up. Make sure it's nice and smooth. After that, I solder wires into each of the 4 holes. These will become the prongs. Next, I trim the wires and cut the prongs just roughly down, just a little bit. They'll be cut down much shorter later, but this is just so that I have space to get in there, do any cleanup, any excess solder. Then I trace around the enameled piece one more time, cut it out to its final shape. I solder it on a bail, and then I begin to bend the prongs over. I'm first forming them over only about halfway, then I'm trimming them to length using a rounding tool called a cupboard that smooths the ends. Then I'm pressing each of the prongs over completely. Sign the piece, and here is the finished pendant. I'm very pleased with how this came out. You can see on the back here, the enamel is a different color. So when you enamel with a torch, when the flame comes into contact with the enamel, the oxygen and the gas can sometimes make different colors when you heat the enamel. You never know really what it's going to look like. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. In this case, I'm very pleased. If you want to play along, I need 2 numbers from you. Number 1 through 8 to determine what drawer I'll choose, and number 1 through 85 to determine which die from that drawer I'll pick. Thank you all. I hope you love this one. This is maybe one of the most traditional pieces I've made in a while, so I hope you like it. Thanks.